Hey folks, it's Finn. I'm back. So for those who don't know, I was away last week on a 1 week silent meditation retreat up in a beautiful setting in a place called the Heathercombe Centre in the middle of Dartmoor, or on the outskirts of Dartmoor. Just beautiful hills and peace and perfect setting for a retreat. The theme of the retreat was Inside There Is a Whole Universe, and the concept was on the embodied self and looking at one's inner landscapes in order to connect mind, heart, spirit. Perfect for what I needed right now. The retreat actually ended up being more silent than I thought. I've never been on anything like this. I've been on one-day retreats, I've been on many talks and lectures and workshops and what have you. I've done one-day silent retreat before, which is what actually made me want to do a longer retreat like this. But I didn't really know what to expect, and I knew that there was some guidance and some lessons within it, so I just assumed that in those bits we'd be talking. No. It was completely silent. Absolutely completely silent. I'm laughing because I was absolutely terrified, I think, at the beginning of how I'd manage that silence, but I loved it. The teachers themselves spoke. They gave us guided meditations and there was a talk in the evening. There was an opportunity a couple of times during the week to speak if you wanted to in a group, but not many people took the option and I didn't. The only time I did speak is I had a one-to-one with one of the teachers and I spoke then, but otherwise the retreat was silent. I did take Glammy Cat, but we were very good. We didn't speak to each other. Whenever I did pop back to the tent, we would just greet each other with a respectful bow. And then go about our day. Each day was structured around sitting meditation and walking meditation. So we'd sit for long periods, of actually sitting for 45 minutes, sitting meditation, 45 minutes walking meditation, and then 45 minutes sitting meditation again, with breaks in between for breakfast, lunch and dinner. There was, of course, no technology, no reading, no writing. There was one clock in the common room, but apart from that, the rest of our time, well, all of the time there was by a meditation gong. And this was rung to call us to wake up, to breakfast, dinner, lunch, and all the meditation sessions. So I think after this week, a little bit like Pavlov's dog, I'm just like conditioned that whenever I hear a bell, There were 18 of us in the retreat. Each of us got assigned a time to ring the gong bell. I volunteered myself for the 6:15 wake up bell just because I thought, it would help me to get up as well, because I don't like being woken up by other people. So I thought if I wake myself up and then do this, it'd be lovely. So it was fine. And you get assigned a work task as well. I was on kitchen cleanup with a couple of other women. And let me tell you, trying to do cleanup when you can't ask where things go, and it was just funny. The silence itself was just incredible. I had some issues on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday for like about a year. I was suddenly thinking, can I really do this? Can I really not speak for a whole week? Friday and Saturday, it's just like miles away, I don't know. But then Monday came and I just sunk into this silence, and it was just such a powerful and liberating feeling. And you just end up really slowing down and your other senses just get heightened and you become so respectful of the space and of the people around you, and you somehow manage to move together. The house we were staying in wasn't particularly big. I mean, the grounds there was lots of grounds, but the actual building itself was quite small, and so there's 18 of us negotiating the space, and if somebody was in your way, you just kind of quietly move to one side and then move again when there was a space. In any other situation, we'd probably have been at each other like that, but because of the intention of being there and the respect for each other's space and of the silence, we just managed to move around each other, which was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. There were a number of reasons as to why I went on this retreat. The main one being that, as part of my steps in AA, step 11 is about improving your conscious contact and connection with the God of your own understanding. And I'd kind of finished the last few steps quite quickly in Oxford before moving here, and I didn't want to gloss over step 11. You know, my faith is really important to me. I've not talked about what I believe in much on here. It's one of those difficult topics, isn't it, that you don't mention religion or politics. But, you know, I do have a really strong belief in a power greater than myself. I don't have a religious God as such, but I do firmly believe that there is some power out there that, you know, makes the sun go up and go down and the moon go up and go down and the seasons and everything just work in perfect harmony with each other. And I think you can connect with that and work in harmony in your own life. And my beliefs are kind of mostly along a more Buddhist line. And that's the kind of meditation I do. And this retreat was open to all faiths and no faiths, but the teachings were quite heavily kind of Buddhist ideas. So it suited me perfectly. So I wanted to develop my spirituality more and just deepen into that more. At the moment, my meditation has been a bit stale. At the retreat, the ex-monk Suvachu described it as cod liver oil practice, where you just take the cod liver oil every day because you know it's good for you, but, you know, that's about as far as it goes. And that's what my meditation's got like. I haven't had any instruction, teaching, workshops for a good year. So I wanted to freshen up my meditation and just put some new life in it, so to speak. And especially, you know, at the moment with how everything's changed, I've moved, I'm single and all of that, this was kind of like a time to stop and just take stock and then just move forward, you know. So the retreat was perfect for that. All the themes that were within it were very much about what I'm going through now, letting go and sitting with emotions and letting them be. And yeah, it was just absolutely wonderful, more wonderful than I could ever hope to describe. As the week went on, I just really got into a groove and I found myself just falling back in love with my meditation practice. And meditation's often difficult. You know, you have the inner commentator going crazy, you know, you're distracted by outside noises or aches and pains in your body, and you're constantly bringing your mind back to your breath, and it can be frustrating. And then at other times, just complete peace and silence and pure bliss. And it was just a beautiful roller coaster to go through that week, and I enjoyed every meditation session, no matter what it brought up. Even at the end of it, I was like, please ring that bell because I can't feel my leg. It was just wonderful to be back in touch with my inner self on such a level. You know, it's been a while since I've really sat with myself like that. And the outcome of this for the week has been huge. I feel like I'm really back in touch. And also I feel so reassured at how easily now I can sit with myself, even the difficult stuff that's going on, how easy I can sit with it and how different that is to even just a year ago. You know, it's really shown me how much far forward I've come, and just how much I love being in this body now, and that inside this body is peace, where once was just complete chaos. One of the most interesting things to come out of this week for me, though, was to notice that when the silence began, my anxiety disappeared. Now, I've shared before that I do have some anxiety remaining. I wanted it to go, but I don't know if it ever will. So my plan in life has just been to just do things regardless of it. I do not let my anxiety get in the way, but it is kind of always bubbling there in the background. It's like a prickly feeling, a heat and a kind of churning that's there. And it varies in different levels. Sometimes it's really, really low now. It does peak occasionally, but not very often. But it's always there. And I was surprised to find that it disappeared completely on the retreat. Not one tiny murmur of it until the Friday, where we were then encouraged to start speaking again. And we were put in pairs to start the process of communicating a few words to each other. And my anxiety shot through the roof. My face kind of lit up. I was shaking, and it was such a shock after having no anxiety to suddenly have this anxiety again. And it's just made me reflect on a few things, because I was of the mind of thinking that my anxiety must be a chemical thing in me, for me to still have it, for me to have done all this work, and I'm able to go out and do things and be with people now, that I thought, well, maybe that's just me, maybe it's the way I'm wired up. However, if it's gone, it's obviously not the way I'm wired up. And to notice that it's the speaking that does it, I think what it is, when I don't speak, I love being around people. I love people so much, but they are a source of anxiety for me. But this week, because I didn't have to be anyone, I didn't have to say anything, do anything, I think the pressure was off. So as soon as I had to speak again, there was this whole thing about, oh, what am I going to say? Is what I say good enough? Am I going to respond well enough to the person? All of this. And I think all that then returned the anxiety, which I needed to know, because obviously there's still some work to be done there on my idea of myself and my self-worth in terms of what I've got to say to other people. So I'm now being very much aware of this when I'm around people and seeing what happens in the difference between just sitting with a person and then when I feel it's the right time to speak, how the anxiety changes. So that's an amazing thing to have learnt this week. The end of the retreat came really hard to me, I'll be honest. It was devastating, really, for it to end. I really could have gone deeper. I could have quite happily stayed for a couple of weeks. I feel like I found a place in there that I really want to explore, but that's fine, you know. Now it's breathed new life into my meditation practice. You know, I've been home last few days and now I've adjusted to the noise again, just about, because that was a shock. I'm meditating for longer and I'm bringing more mindfulness in my day-to-day life, and I think at some point in the new year I will go on a longer meditation silent retreat, because you know I love doing this, and it's shown me that Buddhism is really where it's at for me. This is what I relate to most strongly, so I'm actually going to find a group in my area and start going back to talks and sessions and mixing with other people that are doing the same thing. So it's been a really, really valuable experience for me. Really, really has been so incredibly special. And I just am so thankful that freely given retreats exist. I mean, I really recommend you check out their website. The organisation was set up by a few friends who decided that, you know, retreats are so expensive and let's do it in the same way as they do in other cultures with dana. So you just give what you can afford. And that's amazing, because it means anybody of any financial background can actually access these retreats. And I honestly do feel so incredibly different and so changed. And I really recommend that you go and check out their website. I'll put the link at the bottom here. And go on one of these retreats. I guarantee you will not regret it. It's just wonderful. And yeah, I can't wait to go back into another one next year. So that's it for this week. Thank you for watching, everybody. If you'd like to ask any more questions about the week, please do leave a message in the comments below or message me on any of my other social media links. I will see you on Sunday, because this month's Sunday shout out is actually now on the second Sunday of the month because I was away. And this Sunday I'm going to be talking about jealousy of cisgendered guys. So do tune in for that. Please do hit the subscribe button and don't forget to check the box to receive regular updates. You can check out any of my social media links, join the Fin Fam, and all of my blogs for additional information. Have a great rest of the week. See you on Sunday. Bye bye.